Right?
Sunday. It's your boy Styles right here, and this is
I'm the weapon.
the weapon, and we also got
It's your boy FIF.
Mr. FIF, who actually is gonna be on the show quite a bit in this. So I hope you're enjoying his content because it's gonna be a lot more of it on your fucking face.
They signed the free agent. They saw me roaming out there. They were like,
we snatched him up.
They penned me up for the next 10 years.
Yes, sir.
We had to sign him, man. We had to do it.
So let's go. Yeah. So you know what I always say. Why don't we just get right into it?
Fucking right.
Always,
man.
man.
Drop them drawers.
So yeah. So the first thing on the list is this thing I heard. That the LAPD has banned the thin blue line flag after complaints. So they've banned it for all of like their vehicles and like their uniforms and stuff. They have hats on.
That's the one too. Civilians can have, right?
Yeah, civilians can have it too. Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't get it because all it is just supporting the police or whatever, but it makes it seem like they're saying that it's like a racist symbol almost. Like, what do you think about the whole situation?
Me a fifth, man.
Fifth. What do
you go first?
That's
honestly.
If you look at what's going on in California, it doesn't really surprise me.
No.
$700, $900. You can go in and steal. You see the videos all the time on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. People run into these stores with bags, loading in hundreds of dollars of whatever and out the door. So that kind of feeds into that a little more. I guess you would ask yourself why.
And they can't make citizens not, use it too. So it's like,
what? How? What? They're gonna pull everybody over that has.
Well, there's a lot of things, It's
like a cop is gonna go and pull somebody over that has it on their car. If you think about it, that's an oxymoron. That's ridiculous.
No, I think it's for the police themselves. I don't think it's for the.
Oh no! But I'm saying, do you think a cop is gonna go and pull somebody over that has it on that just for that? I doubt it. And like what? They're gonna see him at when you go to get your registration done. What? They're gonna make sure they take them off your car. It's like, come on, man. That's ridiculous. That's like putting the American flag up in your house.
That's free speech infringement.
Remember years ago, like people were talking about like, you can't have in certain developments if you don't own and you're renting, you can't have American flag.
It's like, worse now. Haven't you heard it? Yeah, dude. Like any of these places where they have like rules, like in the neighborhood, like you have to mow your lawn like every week.
HOAs and shit. If you're
If you rent versus own.
So I mean, even us being people who don't agree with a lot of stuff that the government does, like we still love our country, you know what I mean?
Absolutely,
like, we're still, yeah, you know what I mean? So like, no, but I think like the way we grew up and stuff, like you do have a certain affinity for the flag. I mean,
you should.
Yeah.
You're a fucking American. We should.
Like I see other people from other countries, like
they love their country,
wearing it as like a shirt, as a bandana, like as anything. Like
they love their country.
Yeah.
They love who they are.
They love who they are. And regardless of it, like even if their country is like a rough place, like they still have pride for their country. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I don't understand. Like I'm all for immigration to this country in the correct way because that's what this country was built on.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's just absolutely insane to have just a wide open border and just anyone do whatever they want because it's trouble. And trust me, it's trouble.
I think Graphite touched on it last week on that other podcast, and he's like, dude, you could have been born anywhere else, man. It's like, come on, like think about it. And why do you think other people are trying to come here? It's like. There's
the best place in the world.
There's so many opportunities.
So many opportunities.
And I guess maybe we don't look at it.
And I do have to tell myself that sometimes.
Yeah. And it's easier looking at the negatives instead of the positives. And like, come on,
that's
like,
damn sure.
It's a balance, man.
And Dan's been Dan actually in particular has been really good about that because I am guilty of that a lot.
Dude,
and I try not to be
negative
but
too,
it's so easy to like look. You're right. It's easier to look at the negatives than to look at the positives. I do see positive, but this show is not about that. So let's get into some more negative stuff.
Yeah, let's get rid of the haters.
There's this new thing. There's this new thing that I just heard about basically, and I can't even pronounce it when you guys. So there's there's a new opioid that they're calling like a zombie opioid. That's becoming another new epidemic.
Xylazine.
Xylazine.
I would be, if I had my phone right now, I'd type in xylazine and find out what the hell xylazine means. But
so stay away from
is that one of the chemicals that are in the?
Did you say people were behaving like similar to
like
bathsalt?
Yeah.
Bathsalt
What were they doing?
spices.
They were doing the waka flocka.
They ate the
shit,
fucking
right?
face off the person though.
Yeah,
They ate
that's
that
what
person on
they
the West
called it,
Coast.
though,
That's
yeah.
what it was.
They did,
That was a drug.
Like they're diddy bopping.
Well,
Like they stand out in the middle of the street.
Wasn't it
diddy
bath
bopping
salt
and
shit though? It's like which makes so Xyla,
Yeah.
right? Which means I totally forget.
Which means X, Y, and then.
Yeah, right. No, but that's what I'm saying.
It's got everything but the kitchen sink in it.
Yo, actually, do me a favor real quick. Just Google xylazine. Just see what it means, and then and then it's a breakdown, dude. Obviously,
it's always good to have one eventually, if we're able to upgrade the podcast,
which is exactly what we're gonna do.
Exactly what we want to do, and
that's if you guys start the
we
tips.
do have a GoFundMe and we do have a tip jar. You know, it's a rough economy to be asking for that, so we're not no pressure, nothing. But you know what I mean.
But if you love our content, you love our content, and you can see us getting better equipment and progressing forward.
Right.
Be part of it now. Get in now.
And you're somebody who does have the money and is able to invest. Like, you know what I mean. Anybody out there hearing this, that would be, that would be awesome. But for the time being, what we'll do is, but like I would like to have it eventually, so we have like screens set up, like you were saying, Dan. We'll be in chairs.
Yeah,
we can bring up anything,
headphones,
and like we'll set up the headphones.
This is the 11th episode,
and we'll set up clips
every
and stuff
single week. Like it's not gonna.
Yeah,
you can't stop us, man. Unless remember we talked about the bullet through the head, through the window.
Oh, I can stop that. Yeah, but besides that, we're the most consistent.
How about this? I have a challenge for everyone, and this is off the top of my head. These two may not agree with this.
No,
every episode, every viewer donate $1. Everybody can come up with $1. That's not. Let's be serious. You guys have $1 worth of change in your car.
We got 230 subscribers.
$1 per episode per person.
That would pay for.
You would pay for this podcast upgrade rapidly. Rapidly. Just saying. And everyone come up with $1. I mean, I have $1 in my pocket in my car. Anyway, I mean. It's $1.
Wow, I really never thought like that.
Yeah, it really is. It's that easy. Or just go on the YouTube and just sign in. That's the easiest part. You might be watching this now and you're like, oh, dude, I pressed it. No, you got to go into your YouTube, type in the name Sundays with Styles and the Weapon, and subscribe.
And honestly, that stuff doesn't cost a dime. It doesn't cost you a dime to subscribe, comment, and like, and it means everything to us. Like, it'll be so helpful with the show. Yeah. Like, it could even eventually bring us to the point, like, in the future that we would be able to monetize ourselves on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like,
sponsorships. Now we have products here for you guys.
Yo, send messages.
If anybody knows one, if anyone knows anyone that they know that likes to invest in things, whatever. You know what I mean? And like I said, honestly, it's no pressure because I don't want to be that kind of person. I'm not. You know what I mean?
So back to xylazine.
Let's get back to
what is xylazine? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, something terrible.
It's basically a sedative. It's a pharmaceutical drug sedative for anesthesia, muscle relaxation. They use in animals, horses, cattle, non-human mammals.
So it's not even an opioid; it's a different.
So this is upper level. This is something you would use on a horse that's 200, 300, 400 pounds when you. If you got a hold
like how they use ketamine on
if
animals.
you use it, imagine taking that and then cutting it down and then giving it to a human. That's a quarter of that weight.
I used I'll admit it now. I don't really care.
Oh boy.
When I was younger and like 24, I'm 40 now. So whatever. I used a size 0 pill, whatever they called it, and it was like basically like.
Was it to make you a size 0?
No,
so you could fit into your dress.
No, dude, you. Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I tried not to. No, I just couldn't.
No, but I did take it, dude, and I'm not gonna lie, dude. I was about, back in the day, I was like 205. Now, I'm rocking 240. What are you gonna do? I like to eat. All right.
Dad balls in.
I like to eat,
baby.
But
I'm 272 here, baby.
But I took that pill back in the day. I took that pill back in the day, and
you took a pill in Ibiza,
homie. Oh my god. No, dude. Okay. Size 0 pill. And I forget what clenbuterol. I think it's clenbuterol. And dude, I slimmed down to fucking 185.
Holy shnikes! You remember when like those ephedrine pills before they were legal?
Dude, they get you shaky.
Dude, my buddy, he was wicked into working out. Like he was like, and not even about like
try lifting it.
Not even being ripped. like
You're like, what the fuck?
like
They're just
like strong man. Like he was mad strong, dude. But anyways, he used to take us sometimes. So when we would have like a rough Friday night and we have to go into work on Saturday morning doing overtime, he'd be like, "Hey guys, bro." Sometimes I was like, I don't want to be like this anymore.
Yeah, dude. They were rough. That's the reason why they took them off the market. Baseball players.
But so stay away from that stuff, man. Stay away from all that bad stuff.
There was a couple baseball players that died from that.
Only marijuana and
I mean, marijuana is pretty good.
Mushrooms are God gave them to us, and he wanted me to have it. So,
and therefore I will.
But check this. So,
right?
What do you guys think about this? I guess you could look at this next thing in a couple of ways. So California has proposed. They're just looking for the votes to get it started. They proposed giving all of its non-white residents $40 million each in reparations.
Wouldn't that bankrupt the whole?
Oh yeah, each.
Wouldn't that bankrupt the whole entire?
Yeah, each.
I don't. Where's the factual?
Because
is it
basic? This is factual.
Yeah.
If you look it up, this is factual. So basically, what they're saying is like, I think they are gonna try to have a way to prove that they had a family member that was a slave at one point, but I'm not positive about that part. But the thing is, like, all of us, we're so far removed from that. Yes, it was a terrible thing, but why can't we as a society move on now? You know what I mean?
Why are we
they're
paying?
Saying
why are we paying now?
Well, they're saying because those inequities that started during slavery have plagued families for generations. But some families have come out of that and have become rich. You know what I mean?
Why don't we just switch the
tax? So when you look at like the music industry,
isn't there ways to switch the
black millionaires?
Yeah, no, I understand. And this could be a touchy subject for people, but no, you are right. It's like, I mean, we are actually, as a society, we're starting to go in the different direction where white people, like, are treated badly. And, you know what I mean? Like, it's
I almost feel it's...
And it's like, you know what? Do two wrongs make a right? I don't think so, but...
I feel like, too, that's another thing, is it's really just people that watch the mainstream media.
But if we dwell on the past, how do we move
it.
forward in the future?
Dude, just don't, like...
You know what I mean?
Well, I think by doing this...
Why are people getting paid now, right? For their grandmother's grandmother, that did happen then, right? 100%.
Right.
But you're talking generationally, 2 to 3 to 4 generations have passed since then, and now you're getting money. These people have never seen a day of slavery or even understand what slavery is even like at all. But they're going to reap the benefits from that.
Just because
Tulsa, Oklahoma, what was it Black Wall Street?
Yes, yep.
Like for stuff like that, it was a whole area of town. They basically was all black people.
It was thriving.
All the businesses, everything, and they were blown up. They were doing great, and the white people burnt the place to the ground.
It was because a black dude got on an elevator supposedly with a white girl,
but
she claimed
it was an excuse.
Yes,
that's what they always would use for excuse. Homie. These guys are coming for our white women. When in reality, a lot of times, if the girls was going,
I've been in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I probably brought the story.
But that's a situation where I think that something like that affected people.
I will say,
why are we paying now? Why is
it should have happened then,
or tax, or how about this? Why are the citizens of California paying their tax dollars to that now? That should have been handled then, and if it wasn't, such is life sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, it's shitty to say that, but like, it goes back to what you're saying. It goes back to what you're saying. If you dwell on that constantly, and that's all you ever dwell on, how do you move forward?
How do you move forward?
You can't. And I'm not saying. Let me make this very clear. I'm not saying that what happened wasn't bad. Of course it was. It was horrible. You know what I mean? Like, it was terrible.
Nobody's
justifying that at all. Like 0%. But I am, for me, if this was to happen here, you're not taking any tax dollars out of my check for something that I didn't do to someone. Now, if I was fucked up and did something wrong to somebody, all right, I'll pay for my. But I'm not. If my grandfather's grandfather's grandfather, I mean, what? And not to mention, and go back in your history, there's been enslavement the entire time that humans have been on the planet. There's always been one group trying to overtake another group. So where does that line stop? Because if we really start going back, even before that, you know, tribes.
Every empire
has gone over. So how far back can we go? Where does that line
every
stop?
country, every empire since the dawn of time has used slaves to build their empire, and it had nothing to do with the color of their skin. Every colored person has been a slave.
Oh.
In this country, it became a race issue but man,
let me bring this up.
We're gonna get done with this in a second.
Let me bring this up real quick.
But who sold the African slaves to the English?
Listen, dude.
You know what I mean? I don't want to get on into that.
Who's the only country in the world that abolished slavery? There's slavery going on today around the world. We are the only country in the world right now that has fought a war amongst themselves over slavery. Let's be for real. The Civil War was fucking over slavery.
There are many countries right
now that sell slavery today in 2023.
White slavery.
Slavery in general, just 360. It
happens
but that's today.
That was the point I was trying to get
across. It happens today.
Yemen and Saudi Arabia.
And genocide. Too. Like
in the same continent.
But you're focused on the best country in the world that everybody's pouring into to try. Why don't we look outwards and say, like, why are these people trying to leave? Let's fix those Band-Aids.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Well, that is a big thing with trying to help out the third world more, but it's not like we don't, because all
no, we just do it super corrupt wise, right? Nothing ever gets fixed. We pouring billions and billions of dollars, and the problem just still exists.
Because
it gets worse.
I know.
They can just keep printing money though. That's the
but
other.
It's because
that's the other issue.
But it's because even though they're helping, people are still helping themselves. They're helping their pockets get full.
Capitalism.
Like big time.
Capitalism. And dude,
like,
listen, I'm with capitalism.
Power corrupts. Especially
absolute
power
corrupts.
So, and this right here, I feel like, I don't want to shame the person, but it's just everywhere, and I just can't not bring it up. I see it so, a married female cop in Tennessee, apparently she was getting gangbanged.
Dave Puccinelli, you got me laughing like a motherfucker off your memes, dude.
Fuji, dude, you're killing me. That's so good.
Good
shit. She had been getting gangbanged by like 5 or 6 of her fellow officers.
When they ain't get there,
look what it says at the end. This is an inside joke. Listen. So
he's 25% high right now.
And then,
just
bro,
and
then but the thing is, like, she was married. Like, if you weren't married, you know what?
She did also say. This is what is reported.
I'm guessing she probably has
I met her yesterday. I'm just kidding.
No,
but she did say, she goes, "Oh yeah, I'm in an open relationship with my husband." Blah blah blah. And then he came out and found out about it.
That's what Will Smith said. But he was crying while he said it.
Yeah,
so
dude. He's like.
And then he went ahead and he was so upset about it, he slapped Chris Rock for no reason.
Yeah.
Beta. I'm sorry, bro.
Shit.
I'm sorry. Like, you're a simp.
Nah, man.
Don't be a baiter. Be a masturbator.
Or just don't
be an alpha.
Or don't be in a marriage.
Alpha male.
Don't be in a marriage.
Well, I mean, that's technically the way that, like, biology and nature is supposed to actually work. But we're in a strange world right now where it's like opposite. Remember your kid would say, "Oh, today's opposites day."
It's opposite world. It's upside down world.
Dan, today's opposites day. Dan, you're handsome. No. That's just it was just an example.
No, okay, good.
Okay, and here's another one. Now here's another thing that I feel bad to talk about, but it's why is this new Martin Luther King? Martin Luther King, great dude, like very interesting in the history. Why did they choose this sculpture in Boston?
It makes you wonder sometimes.
It
makes you wonder sometimes because Boston sports are already notorious for being, and Boston's already notorious for being racist. And then you go and do that. I almost feel like it's on purpose.
You know that?
I almost fucking feel like it's on purpose. Why? Exactly. Why would you do that? Knowing the stigma around Boston, and yet you still did that anyways. Why? Because you know why. You know damn well why you're doing it.
I didn't even realize that. I saw
divide.
that Boston was on a list of top 10 most racist cities in the country. I'm like,
why
didn't I know that?
Honestly, no. If you go you go into certain inner cities, but most of the stuff is like gentrified now.
I was thinking like Southie or something. Like that's what
probably like downtown Roxbury, shit like that.
They're all everything. Even dude, I was in Cambridge last year. I won't say what I was doing. I was in Cambridge for 7 months last year. Cambridge, when you think of Cambridge, you think of Harvard, MIT. You think of this upper echelon white society. No, I was on Mass Ave for 7 months.
That's working right into a little something there.
There we go. So I was on Mass Ave for 7 months, and I saw a equal mix of every race. There was an equal mix of Asians, of white people, of Africans, of African Americans, of any kind of Hispanic descent. Like there was any of any type, because I know the Hispanic descent that branches down. There's been, you know what I mean? You have Spanish, you got the Puerto Ricans, you got the Mexicans, but they're all all
the little people, the little
but all that. But you know what I mean? They're all like branched out. But still, it's when you go out to a place like that where you have that Cambridge, Massachusetts kind of vibe. And I'm out there. I'm in the trenches. I'm like that. And I'm in the trenches. I'm looking around. I'm going. I don't see this, and I'm here.
Guatemala.
That's what I don't understand.
I'm here.
Am I missing it?
Everybody, man.
Yeah, because it's on the TV and it's not in real life.
That's what. No,
I know
honestly,
what you're getting.
I just want to say one other thing too about the MLK sculpture.
Oh, I saw.
I've listened to probably about I'll say about 3 or 4 political podcasts, right?
Yeah.
And then a couple of comedian podcasts, and they all said the same thing. They really did kind of get to
and
the
they said
same
it felt
thing.
bad.
No, they said why didn't you just have like a sculpture of
him
hugging?
or of them hugging?
Yeah. What the fuck?
By the way, they also had a meme.
They $10 million.
They had a meme.
Guy, $10 million could probably fix half of the shit that's going on the fucking the Massachusetts.
You can fix the roads, motherfucker.
What's it called? The fucking the fucking methadone mile in
Boston.
Boston.
No, they cleaned it up. That's cleaned up now.
No,
it's just moved to something.
But they all
they dispersed it because that's why Cambridge. I said Cambridge because the methadone.
I also saw a meme
with
the Tennessee cop with her face there because you know how the stuff kind of looks like it's holding a big.
I saw that.
Yeah.
But also too, is this coming out of our paychecks for this thing? That's something I actually want to look into.
More than likely, if it was state funded or if it was funded by any kind of government entity, it absolutely was, because that money only comes from tax dollars.
Income tax has never even been it's not even legal.
But
they're about to abolish the IRS.
But then the other thing
too,
if we are paying for it, why do we not have like some sort of system where, hey, let's put this up, let's put that up, let's see what works, and instead they just throw it up. Hey, here's your money. Your money's getting dumped into it. That's it. Like.
I just don't understand because with a big project like that there was so many people involved. Nobody saw that. What all of us can see. It either looks like a gigantic turd or a hand holding a big swamp.
If we can figure that out, the people that are quote unquote the smart people absolutely know. So now you ask that question. Why?
Like they're trolling us.
Not even like they're trolling us. It's like, why would they do that? What is the reason? What's the equal sign? What's the gain for them? Further division, because now you're gonna have a certain community gonna be really upset about that. They're gonna
say, it's because
it just causes it's another crack and it's another chasm in the landscape to keep us from forming together and fighting back against said people. Easier to fight you and me separately than it is to fight the three of us together.
That's an interesting question. I think we'll skip that question.
Does anyone think Biden's mental capacity has relinquished in the last, let's say, the year and a half, 2 years he's been in? How long has he been in for? A year and a half now?
Yeah, dude. I don't even know if he's actually alive.
It's not great.
It's not great. But he has no regrets though. Did you hear it came out again today? Even more papers,
documents.
More documents. And the problem is, some of these documents now, not only were a bunch of the classified documents from when he was vice president, which you don't have you're not the president, so you can't make it unclassified, but by just not even saying anything, just looking at it, just taking it. But when he was in the Senate, some of the shit he's finding is from when he was in the Senate. This dude is that reckless.
Also know.
He said, "There's no there." Did you hear that soundbite too? There's no there.
Do you know why? You know why?
It was safe.
You know why this is happening, right? Do you know why this is happening? Because they already said that he's going to run again. The Democrats don't want him to run, and that's why
I'm with you on this, dude, 100%.
I think they're trying to take out both of them.
Bro.
Which honestly,
if you can't have Kamala Harris is not.
No. I'm saying if they let him be president right up until the elections, and they just take out Trump and Biden on the document
get
stuff,
them the fuck
and get
out
two
of there,
young guys in there who are capable.
No, but see,
to run against each other.
Dave Smith for president.
On the Democratic side, on the Democratic side, there's nobody. You still have DeSantis.
Robbie the Five Birds.
You still have DeSantis on the Republican side, who is he's not a branch of Trump, but the way he talks to the media, he is Trump-esque he's very stern. No, I shouldn't say stern. He's very to the point on how he communicates, right?
I think he's using Trump's playbook to be
a little bit. Trump laid a playbook out, and now people are like, all right, I saw where this didn't go right for you, and they're kind of playing that middle. He's absolutely, I agree with you 100%. He's absolutely doing that, and I feel like if you took out Trump and Biden, you would just be handing that to him because he is shooing.
Sanders, right?
DeSantis. Look at Florida. Look at how Florida's ran with the COVID. Everything that they have done, everything that he has done since he's been governor down there has worked and has brought more people from other states to Florida.
They said that if you win,
Why?
if you win as a Republican for governor by 1%, that's amazing in Florida. If you win by 20-some%, you're a friggin' rock star. Like that's like unheard of.
Unheard of. Yeah,
yeah, it was historical.
Yep.
And
it was, yeah.
right back into Cambridge. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but tons of people on Twitter were mocking Massachusetts because they put out a flyer for a girl.
Oh no, it wasn't a flyer. Wasn't it posters? I thought it was. I could be wrong.
It said flyer.
Flyers. Okay.
Right.
So for girl.
Yeah, like flyer poster.
Girl
like,
X
event.
Like
but girl X event where it said up until the 5th grade, all girls and anybody who identifies with girlhood. And even the Latinx community was saying, when you tried the whole Latinx thing, that didn't work, and it's because
they don't want it to.
Well, it's because of their. But it's actually a big part of it.
Yeah.
Is because of their language. When you use a word, it has either an A or an O at the end, whether it's male or female. So it's not. It's confusing.
I'm gonna drop back to like comedian shit.
Imagine that.
Because
I don't see no non-binary language in there.
Yo, I listen to Tom Segura a lot, obviously. Like I love comedy, man. Like that's shit. Awesome. But he's also he's half German.
And that breaks up the negative too.
What Argentina, I think, or something like that, or whatever.
Yeah, because he's Spanish.
Yeah. Peruvian. Sorry, Peruvian.
Yeah.
And but
his mom.
But they were saying like Latinx, and he goes I think on air. I could be totally wrong about this, but I definitely heard him do it. He called his cousin and said, "Hey, would you call him in Peruvian, right? In Peru?
In Peruvian.
In Peru.
In Peru.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a friend from Peru.
And his cousin was like, "Dude, what? Like, what are you guys talking about, man? Like, what? And he goes, "Yeah, nobody uses that shit, dude. Like, let's stop with the shit, man. I don't. But
there's
either
actually
way, it's alright.
How much of it's made up? How much of that stuff do you guys think is actually made up from our media back to us, but doesn't actually our media, right? Think about this. Our media shoots the media into the U.S., right?
Yeah.
But doesn't really shoot outside the U.S. So we only regurgitate what is said to us. How much of this is outside of our bubble of America?
But that's what I'm saying, because they don't push, like, even all the commercials, these big corporations who have come on and say, like, we support the LGBTQ plus community, like
plus A
those
double
commercials,
2, 5, 4, 19.
I know. I was trying not to be. I know.
No, but really,
cat sign, yin yang symbol, dinosaur.
Hey,
I don't know. Again, but in other countries, they don't play those commercials. Like,
they don't play that shit at all.
Like
they don't play pharmaceutical commercials
like China,
in any other country,
like
Coke
and stuff like that. Like in China and like in Saudi Arabia, like that shit doesn't fly over there.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that we have to be like that, because honestly, I'm just saying that I think that it's wild.
Less homophobic,
and that's not good either. But
I'm not saying it's good, but I'm telling you reality. They'll fucking hang you. What happens when we left Iraq? And we left Afghanistan, and we left.
Everybody.
What happens? And these women over there had just gotten this much. They were able to take able to take their hijab off, able to start driving, going to schooling. They found out about that, and they were, you're on social media, hung, killed.
Yeah.
I listened to a
Iran is hanging protests.
A good
podcast.
Right. You know Barry White.
China's doing
bad Barry White.
Oh yeah. She used to be a journalist for the New York Times.
Yes. So I listened to a podcast with her back when all that was going on. And it's good we're pulling all the soldiers out.
She's involved with the Twitter files.
She said. Yeah. She said something about she actually connected with somebody who knew a teenage girl that was over there in. It's just she had to leave the whole family. They said, "Oh, come here to this part of the airport. Oh, you can get into this one." Blah blah blah. And it's like, and then she couldn't, and then eventually they did get her in, but her whole family still stopped. It's like
now they're going after her family because of her.
It just. I don't know, man. It's you didn't choose where to be born, so it's.
You don't choose your circumstances, but you got to deal with it.
Hey, if you've got first world problems, fucking.
It's just like all the cancel culture and stuff like that, like over people's views and opinions. Like they want to like take people's careers away from like break up like families of like they want to ruin your like if they could they would probably kill you. Like
they
that's
want to dismantle your entire
like
life.
it was never like that. Like dude, things have become so polarized, and I would say I know it started before 2016, but I would say once Trump won and nobody expected on the left, they lost their minds. Yeah. They're like,
this will never happen again.
We're gonna go so hard on super duper progressive ideology.
We gotta pin the needle
like,
so far
the
left.
progressive ideology is like a religion. Like
bro, they've pinned that needle so far left that it's actually moved the right to center. So now you're getting people that were left-leaning center actually are now technically, in today's scope, left-leaning, a right-leaning center. Yeah. Because they've taken that pendulum and they've went this far left, which is taking this one because there's only so much space. Yeah. So if you move this one's got to go with it. Now you're just doing so far left that this is almost sitting center, or cocked a little bit to the right. It's like
when they don't realize that we're all most of us are really down the center, dude. Like we
lean. Most of us down center, or we lean a little bit. Well, we know we're pin left.
But I also think that behind the scenes, I think that it's really not as separated as we think. The Democrats and the Republicans, they're both scratching each other's back. I'd like actually to see them become more separated again, and actually see the Republicans like do something like we might not be happy with a lot of stuff that Democratic politicians are doing, but the Republicans are just talking. They're not doing nothing. No. What are they really doing? I'm just disgusted with like the whole thing. But you know what? We could just talk on that. But here's a great one that I actually want to get into here. Is that this blew my mind? So apparently, Biden's house that they found the documents in the garage, like on the workbench next to his Corvette. At one time, Hunter was living in that house. Like during the time that Biden was vice president, during the time that Hunter was going to China and Ukraine and being an analyst for energy and whatever, when like he doesn't have any type of credentials to do any of that stuff.
What do you mean?
And apparently people were buying his art, which that's a big scam shit. Like using art to move money and all that shit. Like
hey, if you're
money
laundering,
absolutely money. So. But then he claims he was living there at that point, and then he says, I was paying rent. I was paying $49,000.
He's trying to get a tax cut
a month for rent. It's not a mansion. I mean, it's a decent sized house, but it's not like. Think about how much money that is.
What about the $500,000 they got laundered back to Joe Biden?
Like, don't you think that rent money was basically just payments to the big guy? I mean. That's just allegedly speculation, my opinion, whatever you want to say.
Oh, of course.
But the whole thing is just getting nuttier
and it's a tax write-off, too. It's a double-edged sword.
It's correct.
Every day they add more. Like they just said today, they found more.
Now it's the third time, right?
They're finding classified documents from when he was a senator still.
Senator, vice president, and president. So there's been 3 separate times, and each time they've been, no, that's it. Oh, we found more. No, that's it. Oh, no, we found more. That's it.
And it's just weird to me that they act so.
Where's the outrage? Like, where's the outrage that they had for Trump?
Big deal. But with Trump, they actually sent in
crazy
the
outrage,
FBI. Like they kicked down the door. Like. And they're not even doing that here. Like, it's like, no big deal.
Yeah, he's old.
And I mean, honestly, is the press secretary, I kind of feel bad for this lady, because is she really that bad, or are they just making her look that bad? Because
it's a combination of both. She really is that bad.
She just has a book that just says, tell them nothing, and just get mad at them, and just don't give them any information. Like,
well, they're not helping her, and she doesn't know how to play. She doesn't know how to walk this line. Like, I as much as I didn't like Jen Psaki, she did a much better job.
Smart as shit.
Much better job. Much better job.
You guys know how an orchestra works, right? Like, you do this.
Yeah.
You do that. Puppet play. Puppet fucking puppet pull.
Yeah, dude. Just like every day.
Geppetto.
Just like every day when they go into the room that they store Biden in and open the coffin and stick their arm up his butt and walk him out.
They inject him with that shit that lasts for 8 hours.
Yeah.
He wakes up, he's like...
Yeah. They're like...
Joe.
They're like... We're gonna, they're like, we need to give him some of those vitamins that Hitler used to take.
The vitamins.
Yeah, the vitamins.
I do want to. I'm not going to give out a name or whatever, but I do want to say, I know a Ukrainian girl that I grew up and went to school with. No, and no. She said no. She said I remember when the whole when the war started last year. She said something. And she goes, "Well, I know for a fact that a president like Trump, he wouldn't deal with it. He wouldn't put up with the shit.
Nope.
He'd get in there and he'd make sure this is done."
Dude, that's fair. I don't think Russia would have even.
Look at history. Look at history. Russia took Crimea under Obama. Trump is the president after Obama. They don't make a move. Trump leaves office. Joe Biden's inserted. Russia invades Ukraine. That's history. That's not bullshit.
Yeah.
Look,
because they knew, honestly, regardless of what anyone
we're not playing
says.
with him. We're not playing with him because we don't know what he'll do.
Right, because they're like, he's not a pussy.
He had a fair
well,
guard.
like he's not a pussy.
He had a fair guard him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basic. I mean, to be blunt
he
about
wasn't
it.
having it. He wasn't having it.
They knew.
He'll wipe out his own people, but
they knew that
when it comes to nuclear war,
they knew that he could be a loose cannon, and they were scared. They were afraid. To, absolutely.
What a wild card to have in your pocket.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what I mean?
Seriously. I mean, people can say whatever they want. I still say to this day, but they say that you're a bad person if you say this too. But I was able to put a lot more money in my savings account.
We all had money.
We had more food on the table.
Unemployment at its lowest in every demographic.
Hey, you're a bad person.
Every demographic.
And I was gonna say, Price actually brought this up last week on the podcast. He goes, I made a lot more money when T-Dog was in presidency. Listen, I get it, I understand, but dude, the policies, that's what matters. The problem.
Yeah. That's what matters.
I don't give a shit who you are, what's going on, what your skin color.
Policies.
Tweets, mean tweets don't matter. Mean tweets don't affect your bank account. Mean tweets don't affect the food on your table. Mean tweets don't affect the lights being on and off in your house.
Who you vote for does.
Like, your feelings don't take away my rights.
Who you vote for does.
But also,
shortages brings up shortages, right?
Shortages, which also brings up I don't want to eat the bugs. I mean, if I really had to in like a survival situation, but they're saying, do you notice that all of these like crops are dying or even being caught on fire? They're fucking slaughterhouses and meat processing places
blowing up,
burning to the ground, and then these elites who are part of which we'll get into the WEF, the World Economic Forum, but they keep talking about how bugs,
protein in the bugs.
Oh, bugs. You can have a ranch and you can raise bugs, and it's so much better for the planet. And you just grind them all up, and it's just you get protein cakes and stuff like that.
Crickets
But what do you think? Do you think that the elites are going to be eating the bug protein cakes, or do you think they're going to be still having?
Absolutely not. Why do you think you got Bill Gates in China buying up massive amounts of farmland in America? The war in Ukraine is the breadbasket of the world. We've had so the thing about this, everyone's talking about this. Last year, they murdered. Well, I shouldn't say murdered. They killed 2 million chickens last year. No. They came out and said 1 or 2 million chickens last year, right? Yeah. So that's 2 million chickens not laying eggs for the past year. So that all of a sudden we're seeing an increase in egg price.
By the way, the egg prices. I don't know how much you guys eat eggs, but I eat almost like 3 boiled eggs almost like every other day. It's not that.
God, I'm so upset right now. I feel
it's
like
not
I can't
that
talk because all I can think of is my snacks again. And Putin. No, I'm telling you, son of a bitch. If my fucking if my snacks are affected, I'm going to come there. I'm going to fly there in John Kerry's private jet, and I'm gonna fuck your face.
I just pictured you with 2 machine guns. Like,
who is it?
It's not Putin's fault.
Whose fault is it? It's Joe Biden.
Yep.
You son of a bitch.
Damn, Biden.
It's not fully his fault.
Right. Biden, why you fucking with my boy snacks?
It's not. Putin invading that is not stopping that. It's the COVID was a huge reason why we're sitting where we are right now too, because they shut down the plants. This goes back to
it really
COVID
does,
really was the kickoff because they started closing down meat plants. They started closing down everything, so that stopped production.
What about the baby formula? That was another weird
with the
thing.
formaldehyde.
Homie,
dude.
What?
They're investigating, dude. But now that we are got a little bit more control. I say we, but not really.
We like
the Republicans.
He's out there.
I'm not a Republican, you son of bitches.
Nah, me neither, bro.
I'm an independent moderate who leans slightly right. But anyways.
But it's John Kang's left, so
yeah,
that's how he goes down the middle.
I stay straight up the middle. You know what that is. Shit.
Yeah, but I totally forget what I was even talking about. Soylent Green. Soylent Green. Grandma's chicken feed is people!
Mm-hmm.
It's people! No, just kidding. No, but really, like, there is a plan. There is, like...
And they're trying.
Bill Gates, I don't know what... and speaking of not knowing what people are, the World Economic Forum that they just had in Davos. And I think it's real cute that all these people that are saying, it's so terrible, you're destroying the planet. They all flew there in their private jets that they're always jet-setting around. Like Al Gore, that creepy guy. He gets creepy every time I see him. And
Al Gore's still alive?
And John Kerry
mackerel.
looks like one of the friggin' wax museum friggin' statues that I saw when I went to New York City. You know Times Square? I forget the name of the museum. Madame so-and-so's. I was going to give her a shout out. But
$20 million.
The guy looks like his face is about to fucking melt off. You know that promotional video I have where it's a smiley face that's melting off of a skull? Like, that's what it reminds me. Like, his face is he's like, I feel like us people who have come together to save the planet, it's almost like extraterrestrial. I knew it, you son of a bitch. He's a lizard people!
Oh my god.
Yeah. Which brings us to the question, is Dan a lizard people? Because your eyes are... What was that?
No, not dude. What are you talking about?
Okay, no.
I'm just chilling,
he may not be, but
we may have video. We may have some video of him glitching in and out. Then he realized he was getting caught and he went back in his wall.
He was like, "Oh no, I am."
Close my eyes.
I just did a Katy Perry. You seen that, right? The Katy Perry one.
Oh yeah, that's insane.
Dude, that's like, I don't know what's the
explanation. Dude, her fucking eye started drooping down. She like touches her temple, like she pressed the button and her fucking eyelid goes back up. I'm like,
yeah, dude, it was like, I don't know.
Weird.
But you even see the ones where I don't know if it's just like a glitch in the thing or a glitch in the Matrix or what. But like when people's eyes like turn like black and then it goes back to like.
They turn like a cat. They go up and down. They get like a cat eye up and down.
Oh, I'm gonna post. This just got into my wheelhouse recently. Propaganda videos and like movies from the 40s, and it's friggin' Donald Duck, like it's cartoons, but like it's geared towards adults. Like
that shit is.
I'm gonna post something up on the page to check out because it's really amazing. Like that, this is what like it's not for children.
I couldn't believe it.
It was geared towards adults.
Yeah.
Like we were watching one.
A baby Hitler duck.
A baby Hitler duck. Like I'm like, what?
It was like Donald Duck replica.
Yeah, dude.
It's just weird to see propaganda from like way back when. Like, but because media was so new then, like people. That's probably why it worked. People like, oh, that's cool. Like, I don't know, man. It's creepy. But also Joe Manchin. I kind of always liked Manchin in cinema because they sort of keep the Democratic Party, like, you know, they try to keep them on their toes a little bit. But Manchin just recently said that he believes that corporate media should be more censored than it already is. But now he's trying to walk it back and say, oh, I didn't really mean that because people are outraged.
No.
Do we need any more censoring?
Hold on. Is that similar to the Flyers player who refused to wear that his pregame jersey? Is that kind of censorship? You know what I mean? Where like he has to defend himself now.
All right. So the thing that's weird about the Flyers player is I don't understand why he has to defend himself because it was. But
it's only that corporate media.
It was the pregame. No, you're right. But I'm glad you said that. It's the pregame workout that they were gonna wear rainbow jerseys for Pride Night. Mm-hmm. Now all he did was say, "I'm not gonna participate in the practice."
And you should respect that, dude.
Because. Of my religion, I don't have a problem with it, but I just don't want to like promote it myself.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
There is nothing wrong. As much as people want to be so progressive,
it's called choice. Don't lose your choice.
As much as people want to be so progressive and be so,
but it's like I was trying to go and make them
understand, man.
Wear like a heterosexual jersey. You understand what I'm saying?
Choice. Like they're taking away your choice.
Heterosexual pride. They would say like, "Get away from me."
Yeah.
I just
that's
don't.
not what you're into. Yeah.
But it's just like
takes your choice away.
It feels like what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander. There's a double standard in everything nowadays. Mm-hmm. You can say and do this, but don't you dare say and do this.
Don't backlash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't fire back.
Like all this stuff that is going on where they're trying to separate non-white people, and I always say minorities, which I don't think technically
it's not really a
Caucasian
minority.
people aren't minorities yet, but in certain sections of the country, and they say, which I fine, I don't know,
I get it.
but that they keep certain information from white people, like that's a new weird thing that they're doing. Like, I just don't know where.
Didn't you
this
say there
world's
was a whole thing about
really
the cops with like
going?
a different thing, right?
Yeah, about the flag, about how they.
No. But yeah, I know what you're saying. But
Yeah.
anytime I hear Joe Manchin and what's his name, Cinema?
Oh yeah, what is Cinema's first name?
Anytime I hear that though, I always
She's
think
a politician. You know who she is?
Cinema?
Yeah, her last name is Cinema.
every time I hear that though, I always think that
they just high-fived each other over something.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
right?
I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
I heard that shit, and then I always think every time I hear that,
I gotta step
I go,
up for a
is
second.
there a cinema in that mansion? You know, and I'm like, I don't know why. My brain, that's where my brain goes. Oh boy! We're gonna pretend that didn't happen.
We're gonna technical difficulties.
Yeah.
See, this is why we need you guys to donate the $1 per episode.
Yeah, exactly.
For this
Then that
reason
way-
right here, so Paulie's big feet don't kick the cord. See,
I'll get-
we could have headphones, we could have a nice Shure microphone,
that
get
was
that nice
terrible.
quality and nice backdrop. It's up to you guys. We need you.
Yeah,
We need you to
same.
help us, for us to help you.
Or just a bungee cord. That works.
Go with it. Go with it.
No, but for real, like, dude.
Alright,
Good.
guys, I'm gonna
Block a
pop
pop, yeah.
out for a second. But
Still
actually,
scroll back up, buddy. You think you missed a couple?
I don't actually think so.
No?
See, it's just some nonsense in
Yeah.
the
Oh, you
movie
jumped. I see
review.
what you. No, I see. I get it.
yeah.
Private jet elites. Obviously.
So.
All right, so let's
Yeah, why don't you guys hop on that? I
All
got.
right, let's maybe talk. Let's go on the second
Yeah.
one. All right, how about this? These new AI chatbots. So
Oh,
there's
man,
been
that
reports
is
coming in that students are now creating essays and passing them in the high school,
Oh, that good?
college, and different areas.
Is that good?
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, you guys are in there.
Alright, cool.
No, both of you.
So they're creating.
check.
So now they're creating essays with AI chatbots. What do you think about that? I mean,
Yeah.
allows
Well,
you not to do your work.
They have ones that can write essays now, can do all your shit for you,
Music.
and it's like, dude, listen, if you guys all want to just lose the grip of the pencil, lose the grip of actually writing on physical materials to have that for history sense, dude. I mean, think about it. Like that's, paintings, like everything that a human has learned in their life.
Yeah, they already have ones that are creating.
But are we doing?
Paintings.
Why would
No,
we do?
how about this? When you're tasked to research something, that person to research that now learns all these intricate things and they become more of an expert in said area because they need to learn this. And if the AI chatbot is doing that for them, these people that are doing it, say for a doctorate to like brain surgery, they're not learning the brain surgery, the AI. I'm not saying that those people are doing it. That's probably it's probably a bad example, but even if the common college student is getting an AI bot to write their essay for them, they're not doing the research to find out the information that's due for the essay. So now they're losing out on whatever essay information they should be obtaining. So now when they go to a respective field and work, they're not nearly as knowledgeable in this area as they should be.
So also I will say in a good way, I guess for that it would actually help with a lot of disinformation shit. It would help with so people can actually get to learn exactly what the hell they're supposed to be doing. Rather than going by
Because,
with a page or whatever that could be easily. Oh, we're just not gonna put. We're not gonna.
No, right? No. What if a bad character gets a hold of what you're saying, right? So you said to discern information. What if somebody figures out that and they say, no, we're only gonna give them the information we want them to have. Now you're taking away the freedom of you figuring out everything because you're only you're allowed to see this much of the information spectrum because that's all the AI bots feeding you. It opens that door, man. It's
it really
at the end of the
is.
day, it's scary. I think. I mean, in reality, there's no boundaries. There's no security measures for this. You know what I mean? They're throwing it out there to us now. Anybody can go on this and have spreadsheets put up. They can have essays written. You can do anything with these things now. It's insane.
But the thing that's
Insane.
crazy too is that the
Yeah.
AI also learns as it goes.
That's yes.
Which is the scariest shit.
But the other thing I saw, I think that all of this affects us in a lot of ways. even down to our cell phones. Like, yes, we have so much information now. Like, we have a supercomputer in our pocket.
Yeah,
we can Google anything and get
anytime we want. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you're necessarily finding the correct answer to that question, which is and you're you can record your voice. You can take a picture. But the thing is, certain things, like, you know, when you're texting somebody, right? You almost never have to just spell a word on your own.
Preactive text.
Have you ever heard it? Have you ever had a situation? Certain apps sometimes don't do the. I don't know why, but it doesn't do the predictive text, and I'm realizing, like, it's dumbing you down because your mind is like it's a muscle and it's used to, like, and I've always been able to spell really well, and I still can't spell pretty well, but I'm noticing, like, I'm not as good as I used to be.
Off a little bit, yep.
And dude, I'm like that is, and but with the AI, I just saw something, and this reminds me, I just saw something on the news the other day. They were testing out an AI bot, and they asked the AI bot to make a like an editorial comic about LGBTQ plus, like basically some sort of like an editorial, like to see what it would do, and it said no, that is not politically correct, I won't do that. And they're basically saying, like, some of the stuff comes from whoever created it. Whoever created it. They've put it out.
It's a child. It's essentially a child. Any information you give that child, right, that's how it's going to form its learning habits. It's an AI. It learns because we input so much data, it learns from it takes our experience and learns from it. So if you only, like I just said a second ago about the information, if you only feed AI a direct line of information that is only this wide and only ever knows that, it's only ever going to form its opinions and its feedback off of what it's given. Like, so if it's not given 100%, it can't do 100%.
Right. It's almost like a kid who lives a sheltered life. And they don't know how to. But here's a kind of a perfect example. It would be like if you put somebody since the day they were born in a room, and you just made them watch violence on TV, and then you just turn them out into the world.
They're gonna be violent.
Like yeah. So, but the thing is, have you seen all this stuff with the AI? They ask it questions. They've even taken two AIs and had them have a conversation with each other. Real quick, it goes from just like a fun conversation.
Dude quit his job. Yeah.
Humans are the plague of the earth. We must destroy humans. Yeah. Like, I mean, they're not. Some ways they're not.
No, it's not exactly.
But although I do know that it's weird with all of the I'm not a climate change denier. I just think that they're not giving us all the real facts of what's really up. Like, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't make sense how they always are flip-flopping between global warming and global like, it's always been a different, this is happening, oh no, it's not this, it's like over the years. I'm saying
what a way to control you. What a way to control your habits. Well, they're telling you that
they always want some sort of a way, I feel like, to be able to
control
that. And that's
mass control.
It's weird because it's been that way throughout history. Like,
and
there's a lot of stuff.
And we still haven't figured out. So the offense runs the same play, and the defense yet has figured out they're going to hand the ball up in the middle to the running back.
Because
it's the same thing over and over again. But yet we still can't figure that out.
And I actually, I would like to get. No, you're right.
I feel like government fails.
And it goes back. I feel like it goes back to that shit where, as long as you have a full belly and you have entertainment, like us, we are entertained. You're not gonna question things. You know what I mean? But like, we still do. But not everybody is like that, wanting to know these things. And Kathy will even say something. It's exactly what you said, and she's really smart. That's why I'd like to get some of these girls on the show.
Well, we get females. If you want to get on this podcast,
and especially
at Styles,
and especially if you're watching to the end. Like, come on,
holler at FIF. We're gonna put up his.
Even lefties, if you guys have opposing views, we would love, and I mean this in the most respectful way. We're not going to attack you guys.
No, we want to be challenged.
Yes, we want to be challenged. We want that great debate. We really do. And to sit down to get both sides. You'll get both sides of the story. It'll be excellent.
I ain't even a writer. That's what I'm saying.
I'm
like,
but like, women know how to debate too.
Yeah. We want these opposite effects. So please, if you guys feel any kind of way, please contact any of us.
Like, if you are a left-leaning person and you would like to get on here and tell us what you think about these things, like, it doesn't, like,
please do.
We don't insult people.
Yeah.
We want to hear both
I mean, I'll
sides.
insult.
What is it?
Definitely, but
No, we insult each other. That's one thing. That's one thing. But against
and assault.
we would never.
We want that debate.
Remember
We want that engagement. We want that kind of
assault?
rapport back and forth. It'd be excellent. And we get people see both sides of the story. Fucking great. You know what I mean?
No,
That's
it really is.
That's
It
why
really is.
censoring shit, and that's a huge thing now. Like, it's almost like anything that's against how the way things
Your protocol.
They want to try to, but like, do all this stuff that YouTube blocks stuff. I said, how can it be possible that the scientific community and the medical community are basically split down the middle of people who feel one way about the pandemic and the vaccinations, and then there's another group. And people are like, oh, these people are just crazy, and then the people who believe in them say, no, those people are, who's right? You know what I mean? Like,
how about this?
What do you mean?
No. To answer that question, of the two sides you were talking about, only one of those sides was pointing to the other and saying, "Don't listen to them." The other side wasn't saying, "Don't listen to those." They weren't saying that. So, in the side that was being censored, by the way, was the man who invented the mRNA technology. So that's the man who patented
Robert Malone.
Robert Malone patented that. He ended up on that side. So you're telling that guy to be quiet. And don't listen to him.
Everything about
the one who invented
who
that.
literally invented that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you guys can walk by. You guys can wait. Can say hi to the camera.
Hey, do me a favor. How many minutes?
This is a Styles of Weapon cheerleading squad.
Yeah, cheerleading squad. But no, you're definitely right. I
You
just.
say how many minutes?
So yeah, hit us
how
up,
many minutes?
DM us, tell us on whatever. Like, yeah, how many
I
minutes?
can't
we
see
get
the
going
thing's
there.
blocking it.
You can't get like any sort of an idea of how much time.
No, we're definitely about 40.
Just run. Just keep running.
So, I noticed that you jumped down to the next thing. You didn't want
You guys
to
are
touch
at
this one.
56.
I'll touch this one.
56.
So listen to this. You might not have even
No,
heard.
I wanted to wait for you for this one.
Yeah, you might not even have heard of this.
What is it, coffee
because
shit?
I barely, no, not the coffee yet, because I
Okay.
barely have heard of it either. Apparently, 5 black cops in Tennessee were fired after a black teen that they arrested died in their custody. But you're not hearing nothing about it. Like, I just happened to run across it. I probably wouldn't, and I feel like it's because it doesn't fit the narrative.
I want to call.
If that was 5 white cops
Yeah.
and 1 black.
I want to call Pat. Put him on speaker, man.
Oh, because he's down in Tennessee.
Tennessee.
No, we actually will do that at some point once
Yeah.
once we maybe get.
I just think you're right. It has to go with the narrative, whatever.
There's lots of stuff going on.
The white cop in Tennessee gets caught banging fucking 5 of the her fellow employees or whatever. They all get fired. That could be brought up in the news because hey, whatever. And
Because
this doesn't get brought up because hey, it is what it is, dude. I honestly, this doesn't.
It's just weird. It's just
this
weird.
doesn't but it also doesn't get me to the point where like I'm so enraged. It's like
No,
hey,
I'm
we
not
know.
enraged either. I'm just like.
But
I'm just saying it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
It should just be like,
It's like, come
dude,
on,
do you know how much stuff? Like, if you think about it, imagine like how big this country is and stuff. Imagine the crazy stuff that happens every day. We only hear like 1% of it.
Yeah.
It's like whatever blows up in the media, and unfortunately, a lot of times it's like a missing white woman or something. Which is, I do have a problem with that because I do have a big issue with
Where are
this
the
whole.
white women at?
No, you know how many indigenous
Homie,
females are gone.
Yeah.
They're never gonna come back, and law enforcement like doesn't seem to show any interest in it. Almost like they're expendable or something. Like that's fucking terrible.
I don't know, man. If you're really looking for
Because I just love.
even playing ground,
We're
man,
all human beings, man. Like
even feel.
I was just saying this. I'm sure you have heard about this at some point. I said obviously they're not talking about this in the news because it doesn't fit their narrative stuff like that. I said imagine how much stuff too happens in this country. It's a big country every day that we don't hear about because you only hear about the stuff that pops off in the news. And I said unfortunately
media.
there's a lot of I'm repeating what I already said, but whatever. That there's a lot of black and brown people, especially indigenous women, who disappear from the reservations. Did you know about this? Is a big deal.
I know.
And law enforcement is showing almost no like, oh, they just ran off or whatever. Like, that's fucked up. Like, that's
Well, it was fucked up when they made reservations in the
somebody-
first place, honestly.
Yeah.
If you really think about it.
Oh,
like,
bro.
it's, you know.
Bro.
But I mean, they
reservations
did,
are supposed to be for when I want to go to dinner.
They
you know
also
what I mean?
did your reparations and all that shit. So.
Yeah,
I mean,
and they don't pay
but
taxes.
I'll
there's
get into
two,
that on another
but two ways to look at that, right? So
I had a kid who was
ownership, dude. Ownership is most important. Ownership. It doesn't matter if you don't own the house and you rent it or you rent an apartment. It does. It's not yours, right? So think about it from that point of view. Giving them a reservation
Even
actually
when you
gave
own
them
the house, it's not
ownership.
yours.
They
Yeah,
gave them ownership of that land, right? However, that in the same token, double-edged sword. Now you've said that this is all these people are going to stay on that land. Now you've isolated them to one area. You've congregated them to one area.
Yeah.
So there's a pro and a con. You have to evaluate that two
I know.
different ways, and then now it's up to the person. What benefit is this of you in your life? Do you stay on the reservation? Do you not stay on the reservation? It's we don't get that, but we don't get that. Well, what go back to what you were saying, we don't get that narrative from the corporate media because it only shows you down whatever side they want to go on. You get shoved that. You don't see the other side, and then you say, "Let's make an informed decision."
When I was a kid, one of the kids in our neighborhood that we used to always go and play wiffle ball and basketball and shit.
Stickball?
He was Native American.
Back in 39?
His whole family, and like he was telling us like, oh, because we're Native American, like we don't have to pay taxes and stuff like that. He was explaining like a lot of the stuff.
They give
like,
us
if you're more than 13%,
so you don't have to
get,
live on the reservation too. You know what I mean? Like,
but there's benefits. But it's like,
but yeah, and I know, and yeah, it sucks, and that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, it is true that this. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of people are trying to like change and hide history and stuff like that. But this country was a stolen country built by stolen people. Like, yeah, those people did it, but we're all not those people. We're people who are trying to move forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But every country, every empire did it.
in the history of the world, it's never been. There's never been one empire that stuck in one place and never found
Like
a conflict.
all their huge
they've expanded.
castles, pyramids. Dude, castles, pyramids. Like, dude,
I mean, they don't stay in one spot. Like
the slaves worked so hard in Egypt that it seems like how could it possibly even happen? It might have been John Kerry, who was an alien and came and built the freaking pyramids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't even know. He said he feels like an extraterrestrial.
Well, I watched a bunch of shit. I've actually watched a couple documentaries. That's kind
I've
of
met John
fascinating
Kerry
about
before.
that. No, not John Kerry, about the fucking pyramids.
But he's-
Because how do you move those
He's
kind of stones?
compromised.
He's like a
Get him out of
statue,
here.
bro.
How do you move blocks like that with the technology you can't even do it today?
Yeah.
No, but if you think
No,
about
they
it,
said you couldn't build it. It's perfect
but
as
you
it
can't.
was.
No, you can't. But if you
Can't
think about it,
fit
if you
paper in
had
between.
if you had a mound of sand, right, and instead of we're thinking building from ground up. What if they built from the top down? You already have sand dunes, so you bring that block to the top point. You have one block. You move sand away now. Boom, boom. Now you set the second block.
I've seen that theory before.
Yeah,
That's
It
very
makes fucking
interesting.
sense, man. It makes a lot of sense. It makes way more sense than you grabbing 20,000
I think
slaves
I
with
got-
ropes.
I think
Hey,
I
so
got
what
it.
about
Damn, that'll
Stonehenge? Do you think that they dug the dirt like out from like they
And
moved
put those
this-
and put the heads in that the
Do you know
bodies
they
are
got?
underneath.
Do you know that they got those huge stones for Stonehenge? They got them from
Way
woods
far away.
20
Yeah,
miles
yeah,
away,
yeah.
bro.
Ask
They
yourself
waited
how.
like fucking
Didn't they tell us?
Tons.
Didn't they tell
It's
us that at
well-
one point all the continents were connected?
Whale system.
Yeah.
Pangea.
Pangea.
So hold on, just we don't know how long those stones
Ooh,
have been
this
there.
is the type of stuff that
What
we
if-
didn't want to
What
really
if
get into,
So what if at Pangea, right? That was when those stones got moved. Now 20 miles over a solid piece of land doesn't seem that crazy. Now when you break it up and you put it as current map,
Sure, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Nothing definitely wouldn't happen.
Nothing-
I'll let you in there.
Nothing's real.
nothing's fake.
No, I'm just
You know what I mean?
playing.
But it's like-
I just watched that movie last night, The Banshees or whatever the hell.
Bit of a
Yo,
like,
with
I don't know.
Colin Farrell and the dude from
Yeah,
was it
you
Gangs
see-
in
have
New
you seen
York?
about
No,
one?
yeah,
The barbershop guy. And
Yeah.
dude, the
You
shit
mean
is
the butcher?
Dude, no, not the
The
butcher.
barbershop guy? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
I
Kathy
don't know,
brought me
Charlie.
the,
Dude,
like,
it is
anniversary
wild, dude. I
DVD
liked
set
it.
of
It was a good movie. Check it out. It's fucking. It's on. Wait, you got HBO Max?
I do, yeah.
Holy
a guy,
shit.
this guy who's kind of like fruity, he gave me
Well,
access
hey,
to it.
hey, If they eat fruits, that's cool, man.
Actually,
but
speaking of your wife,
I like that.
no, I should hope. But speaking of your wife,
yeah.
I think I overheard a conversation you guys were having earlier before the podcast started about this thing about coffee. And if coffee goes away, brother,
Yeah.
brother, if coffee goes away, dude,
Brother.
bro, you better start growing some
I
coffee. You
understand.
better-
Somebody wants to
Some
buy
plants.
my house. that I have here at one.
Brother, let me tell you something.
No,
awesome.
you know that stuff.
Oh yeah, I get them all the
If
time.
they get rid of coffee.
So listen,
ugh.
yeah, this is a big thing that's actually on the news right now.
You can't. How are you gonna do it?
So it's just one of the things that they're saying. They're saying all your cars that aren't electric, you're destroying the planet. All of your cows that you're eating, it's first like that they were farting, but no, apparently they're burping. So we need to put masks on the cows. Also, they're saying now that growing coffee and producing coffee is bad for the planet. It's ruining the planet, and that everybody needs to stop drinking coffee.
Oh, my brain hurts.
What isn't destroying the planet at this point?
But
what isn't bad for you at this point?
I don't really have a dog in this fight because I did drink coffee a little bit when I was younger.
I don't drink coffee either.
I'm not a big coffee drinker, but my wife drinks coffee religiously.
I drink a coffee every single day, usually. And then I put collagen in it, and yeah.
I do not want.
That's good for you, though.
I do not want to be around that if she's not have the coffee. I don't want to die.
You know what?
I'm saying?
I don't want that either. If we're coming to do the podcast,
Yeah.
I don't want to be.
Hey, listen. They might bring it. They might bring it up and say it's bad for you, but I swear to God, they say this shit, and then and then there's about 1 million people in the whole
like
U.S.
eggs,
say,
dude.
I'm not drinking coffee anymore. Look at me.
Since I was a kid,
is it bad for you? Are they saying it's bad for you? Or are they saying it's bad how it gets from the plant to the cup? Are they? Is it the carbon footprint? Is that what they're saying?
What about the coffee beans?
What
about the coffee beans that the monkey has to eat and chew, pass through, and then
there's a cat.
I saw that.
There's a cat too that does that.
It's fucking good.
Did you see how in cigarettes
what the fuck,
there's
man?
anal juice from a cat? Is one of the ingredients.
Yeah, it
in
will get
cigarettes.
you. Yeah. I did see some. Homie, I gotta look back into that, dude. That's
If you look at, we gotta look up all the ingredients in cigarettes. It says like the scientific name, and then it breaks down like what it really is. Dude, I have to see if that's because I've seen stuff that I thought was real, but it wasn't. Like I heard originally. Did you ever hear that smelling your own farts is supposed to help you from not getting dementia?
Oh. Dude, what? Hold on.
But it was an old
We just jumping into a whole.
Yeah, it was an old wives'
Of course it is.
Are we just
jumping? But I just want it to be true.
But
I just want it to be true because everyone likes to smell their own brand. You know what I mean?
Hey, guess what? I had COVID last year.
Dude, the amount of times you Dutch oven.
I can't smell mine, and I haven't been able to.
Oh.
Stove sense.
How do you eat food? What'd you say?
The amount of times you Dutch oven. Keep the wives from getting dementia.
Kathy doesn't.
You know that didn't actually
gets
happen.
Very mad for farts, so.
It didn't actually happen.
But guess what? The dog farts. My Boston Terrier farts up a storm, and she can't yell at the dog, so I love it. The dog's blowing farts in her face and everything. It's wonderful.
You just want to blame on the dog.
Yeah, but she knows the difference.
Yo, we're rocking on about an hour right now, man.
I'm pretty sure we are.
Hey.
Yeah,
it's called what's
sideways, man.
Yeah, it definitely going sideways.
Let's bring it back. Let's tie it back together.
It's always a pleasure.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
Yeah, you know that.
Thanks for having me, dude. I appreciate it, man.
We're going to be having you all the time, bro.
Yeah.
And we're going to work this into, most likely, we're going to be working this into a permanent 3-man show. And we're going to have to change it to...
Coming soon. Stay tuned. Coming soon. Gorilla Squad. There's music coming. We're not just a podcast, by the way, either. We got music coming.
Yeah, for real. There really is Gorilla Squad. We're working on it. It takes, perfection takes time.
Dude, it really does.
No, but you know what's more important than perfection,
Dan? Takes time.
You know. What's more important than perfection? Like, you know how I drop the camera and everything and we look like fools? But you know what? Consistency, baby.
Consistency.
That's their fault. That's their fault.
That is your fault.
That's your fault.
Yeah.
You made me get out.
Actually, you really
can't.
It's their fault that they haven't sent the dollars in yet. That we don't have better equipment.
Yeah, goddamn it. Yeah, goddamn it.
I'm totally. I am kidding. I am.
No
joking.
pressure, but goddamn it.
There's a. What do you say? In every joke, there's a hint of truth.
Yeah. Then you know what? And you know what they say? Every problem starts with a conversation.
That's true. No, that's true.
One of the dudes I work with, and you know what else he says, which is terrible, but. No good deed goes unpunished. And
always.
That's a fact,
always,
bro.
Yes,
you do something good for someone, and then something terrible happens to you. Like, it's insane. Yeah. Or, like, people are like, oh, you want
it's like, homie, you help somebody, and then,
you know what?
It's like, come on, man.
You know that guy? You ever seen the guy with the ugly sweater who goes, you ever seen that guy? He's like a YouTube guy. That's what I said right now. Fucking out of here. Fucking done with this shit.
Sunders.
Sunders.
Styles. See you all next week.